The night she noticed the scar was the night everything changed. Maya had served hundreds of customers in her small roadside diner, just off a quiet highway outside the city. Most nights blurred together, coffee refills, tired truck drivers, small tips. But this man was different. He sat alone in the corner booth, wearing worn-out clothes, his beard untrimmed, his shoes cracked from miles of walking. People avoided eye contact. Some whispered. When Maya brought him a warm bowl of soup, on the house, she noticed it. A long, thin scar on his forearm. Her breath caught. She had seen that scar before. 3 years earlier, her 6-year-old daughter, Lily, had needed emergency heart surgery. Maya had no insurance, no savings, no hope. Then a miracle happened. An anonymous donor covered every cent of the hospital bill. The only clue she ever had was a brief glimpse of the man who signed the paperwork, his sleeve rolled up, revealing a distinctive scar. And now, that same scar was sitting in her diner, on the arm of a homeless man. Her heart pounded. It couldn't be him. The billionaire tech founder who had quietly funded children's hospitals across the country? The man who disappeared from headlines after selling his company? Why would he be here? Why would he be like this? Maya swallowed her disbelief and slid into the booth across from him. "Sir," she said softly, her voice trembling, "I think you once saved my daughter's life." The man looked up slowly, eyes tired but kind. And in that moment, Maya realized that sometimes heroes don't wear suits anymore, they carry their past in silence. The man studied her face for a long moment, as if searching through memories he had tried to forget. "I don't know what you mean," he said quietly, pulling his sleeve down over the scar. But Maya's voice trembled with certainty. 3 years ago. St. Andrew's Children's Hospital. My daughter, Lily. Anonymous donor. You signed the papers yourself. I saw the scar. His eyes softened. The denial faded. That was a long time ago, he murmured. Maya's chest tightened. You saved her. She's 8 now. She runs, she laughs, she's alive because of you. For a second, his composure cracked. He looked down at his hands, the same hands that had built a billion-dollar tech empire, the same hands that had quietly written life-changing checks for strangers. I didn't do it for thanks, he said. I did it because I could. But why are you here? Maya asked gently. What happened? He hesitated before answering. After I sold my company, everything felt empty. The spotlight, the investors, the expectations. I walked away. I thought I needed to understand life without money defining me. So you chose this? She whispered. I chose to see who I am without power, he replied. To meet people without titles. To remember what matters. Maya felt tears burn her eyes. The man the world called a billionaire had been sitting alone, unnoticed, while she refilled coffee cups. She stood abruptly. Please don't leave, she said. My daughter deserves to meet her hero. For the first time that night, a faint smile touched his lips. I'm no hero, he said softly. But Maya knew better. The next afternoon, Lily burst through the diner doors, her backpack bouncing behind her. Mama, why did you say I'm meeting someone special? She asked, eyes wide with excitement. Maya knelt beside her. Because some people come into our lives like quiet miracles. The man was sitting in the same booth, cleaner now, his beard trimmed slightly after Maya insisted he use the diner's restroom and spare toiletries. He looked different in daylight, less like a shadow, more like someone carrying invisible weight. Lily approached him shyly. Hi, she said, clutching a small drawing in her hands. Mama says you helped me when my heart was sick. He looked stunned. Your heart was never sick, he said gently. It was just waiting to be stronger. Lily smiled and handed him the drawing, a picture of a little girl holding hands with a tall figure under a bright yellow sun. Above them she had written, in uneven letters, Thank you for my tomorrow. The man's hands trembled. No boardroom applause had ever moved him. No stock market milestone had ever made his throat tighten like this. But this simple crayon drawing did. You gave me more than money, Maya said quietly from behind. You gave my daughter a future. He swallowed hard. I thought walking away from everything would help me find meaning, he admitted. But maybe meaning was never about losing everything. Maybe it's about knowing who you lift up. Lily wrapped her small arms around him without hesitation. And in that hug, something inside him began to heal. He hadn't expected the hug. For months, maybe longer, people had looked through him, seeing only worn clothes and unshaven hair. But Lily didn't see any of that. She saw a man who had helped her live. And that changed everything. That evening, after the diner closed, he stayed. Not as a customer. As a conversation. Maya poured coffee while he spoke more honestly than he had in years. After selling his company, the headlines had called him brilliant, visionary, unstoppable. But behind the applause was exhaustion. Lawsuits. Betrayals. People who valued his net worth more than his heart. I started wondering, he said quietly, if anyone would care about me without the money. Maya met his eyes. I care. Not because you're wealthy. Because you're kind. He gave a small, almost broken laugh. Kindness doesn't trend. Maybe not, she replied. But it lasts. The next morning, something unexpected happened. A former colleague tracked him down. News had spread that he'd been seen nearby. Offers, interviews, investment deals, all waiting. He looked at the business card in his hand, then at Lily coloring in the booth. I don't want my old life back, he said firmly. But I do want purpose. That afternoon, he made a call, not to reclaim his empire, but to start something new. A foundation built quietly, focused on families who slipped through the cracks. No press tours. No headlines. Just impact. And as he walked out of the diner, not as a homeless man nor as a billionaire, but simply as himself, Maya realized something powerful. Sometimes the greatest comeback isn't about money. It's about meaning. 6 months later, the diner looked the same, but everything felt different. A small plaque now hung near the register. It didn't carry a famous name or a corporate logo. It simply read, "For every family waiting on a miracle." The foundation he created had already paid for dozens of emergency surgeries across the United States, Canada, and the United Kingdom. No press releases. No viral announcements. Just quiet phone calls to hospitals, quiet signatures on paperwork, quiet hope delivered at the right moment. He still visited the diner sometimes. Not in worn-out clothes anymore, but not in tailored suits either. Just simple jeans, a clean shirt, and that same scar visible when his sleeves were rolled up. To Lily, he wasn't a billionaire. He was Mr. Ray, the man who liked extra sugar in his coffee and always listened to her stories. One evening, as the sun dipped below the highway and painted the sky gold, he turned to Maya. "You know," he said, "I thought losing everything would show me who I was." "And did it?" she asked. He watched Lily laughing in the booth. "No," he said softly. "Being seen did." Maya smiled, realizing the truth was bigger than money, bigger than status. A single act of kindness had saved her daughter. And in return, gratitude had saved him. Because sometimes, the person you help in their darkest hour becomes the light that guides you home. And in a world often divided by wealth and power, humanity still wins. Kindness still matters. And miracles still happen when someone chooses to care.